What's up, everybody? Just here to do a shorter than normal video. Just welcoming back Rich at ReviewTechUSA. Rich left YouTube a couple years ago, I think because of some family stuff, and he let some trolls and some other YouTubers get to him. But Rich is one of the reasons why I wanted to start a YouTube channel. Almost started one about 10 years ago. And even then, I probably wanted to start one probably about 10 years before that. You don't see too many of the older guys still doing YouTube, or if you do, a lot of their channels and content have changed. Rich's content has updated over the years. Like, he's went from gaming to tech and into drama, and after doing this for less than a month, like, I understand why. Right now we're in a drought. We're in one of them phases of where there's not a lot of great games. There really hasn't been a lot of great games this year. So there hasn't been a lot of positive news. We're talking GTA 6 got delayed. GTA 6 is expected to see another delay until March or May of 2027. Doom was a really good game, but apparently the disc version didn't even have the game on the disc. The Switch just went completely, the Switch 2 went completely anti-consumer. You use like a third-party remote control that could basically break your console. There's just not a lot of positives in the gaming industry right now. Claire Obscura 33, there's reports that because they use AI in the beginning part of the game, even though they took it out, they're stripping them of their Game of the Year award. So there's not a lot of positives in the gaming industry, so it's hard to be a gaming only YouTube channel, which I'm trying to be. So for those who give guys like Rich crap about being a YouTuber, and whether it's flip-flopping on topics or really anything, I mean, until you've done this, like, it's a lot harder than it seems. If I would have did this 20 years ago, I probably would have made well over $1 million by now. Back then, especially the PlayStation 3 era, I was in the top 1% of the top 1%. Like Killzone, I was literally in the top 3 of Killzone 2. I was in like the top 25 of like Battlefield 3. I was in Call of Duty. I was keeping like 3 and 4 KDs without even trying. I was going against pro players, but it was on a pro team. Wouldn't actually let me on a pro team because I didn't realize to get on a pro team, you basically got to kick somebody off. And even though I was good back then, I was still too afraid, I guess, of what people thought of attempting to make my own YouTube channel. Even though I could have made money, because you see, what's the guy's name, Ninja? I mean, he's made what, 50 million, $100 million now, because he was an average COD player, just went to Fortnite. Like, just because he's like, oh hey, there's not a lot of pro players here, and then all the pro players went there, or the wannabe pro players, and then the pro players went there. Like, people found their niches, found where they could make money, and went there. Like, but but I'm not great at editing. I'm not great at thumbnails. I'm still learning a lot of this. And one of the guys that I watched was Rich of ReviewTechUSA. Another guy that I watched was the Rat Brad, and another guy was Mr. Beast. Not the Mr. Beast you know today. Mr. Beast today, he does basically game shows. Back then, all he did was get like 100 views and 1,000 views on a video for giving $50 worth of gift cards to like Chick-fil-A or something to homeless people. That's kind of what started that whole thing online of, if you're going to give homeless people money, don't post about it or something. But here's how I looked at that. Like, it's hard creating content on YouTube. Like, been doing this less than a month. It's not easy. Like, creating scripts, thumbnails, like, yeah, I have a couple more video ideas that I'll be releasing between now and the end of the year. But figuring out what to say, making the videos at least 10 minutes long, trying not to go too lengthy. And I know some of my videos have been about 25, 30 minutes long. It's not easy coming up with this content, and Rich was one of those people that no matter how long his videos was, I always felt like watching, and like I could just be doing something mundane like reading a book, doing schoolwork, just like playing cards, doing something. I could just like feel like I could watch his content without having to actually like watch, and then just listen and then about whatever he's talking about, and then just do whatever I needed to do. He was one of those people, and for him to release as much content as he did, and a lot of these guys who release content daily, weekly, semi-weekly, or bi-weekly, I think is what they call it. Like that, it's not easy. Like I'm gonna release a second video that I'm gonna record probably tonight, and have this one probably scheduled for Monday, and have the other one scheduled for probably Wednesday or something. But it's not easy coming up with all this content, especially when we're in like these droughts. So we don't have a lot of great games right now, and for a gaming channel, it's hard to talk positively right now. And Rich went through this, which is why Rich was gaming and tech, and then he got into drama. You see a lot of other guys. What was it? Asmongold. He's into a whole bunch of stuff, like I think streaming and games, and I think even sports and a whole bunch of other stuff. Who's that other dude? He got really famous. Not quite as famous as like Mr. Beast. PewDiePie. I think he started off as like some kind of gaming channel or something. Like, some guys get really, really famous in a really short amount of time, and you never really know who you are. But whether you get famous or not, like, to come up with content week in, week out, it's really not easy. Like, when there's 10 out of 10 games, 10 out of 10 games, 9 out of 10 games, like Red Dead and a great Call of Duty and a great Battlefield, which, yeah, we still can get the great Battlefields every 4 years, if it is great. But we haven't got a great Madden in, 6 years? Ain't got a great Call of Duty in, 5 years? Haven't got a great NBA game in, 4 years, 5 years? Doom's great, but Doom's got one more game in it before they probably shelf it for a while. we probably got what, another 4 years before they announce the next Uncharted. Got what, if this next Witcher isn't wildly successful, I know they're gonna make another Cyberpunk game in between that and the next Witcher. So I mean, if the next Witcher comes out in 2-3 years, and then Cyberpunk comes out 4 years later than that, I mean, the next Witcher might be 10 years from now. Grand Theft Auto, we're looking another year and a half probably on that, because it's looking like it's going to get delayed again already. It doesn't help they're dealing with legal issues and stuff. So I understand now, like, why guys like Ridge and Game Ranks, like a lot of them, they have to branch out from just gaming, because when you hit droughts like this, like you gotta find stuff to talk about, especially when you're trying to make this your livelihood. And I have all the respect in the world for guys like that, because after now doing this for less than a month, it's already hard to talk positively. Like, the first couple of my videos haven't been very positive, because we're not in a very positive space right now for gaming. I'm going to try and release a couple videos here, maybe before the end of the year, and about maybe how to fix Battlefield, how to fix, maybe how to fix COD. I don't know if I got time to do that one, because that one's going to take a while. How to fix Borderlands, I already have a script for that. But to talk positively, like, I wanted this mostly to be about, this channel mostly to be about gaming, but after doing it for less than a month, I see why so many people had to broaden their horizons for when we just don't have like a great lineup of games and great good news in terms of games, without being labeled a pessimist, because pessimist might get you 10, 20,000 views, but then it kind of, YouTube will limit your algorithm to basically whoever likes it, and then it won't send it to nobody else. So you're not really going to grow. I don't really want to be stuck in that loop. Because quite frankly, I'm not trying to get to 1 million subscribers like Rich was, because Rich had a massive channel. Rich was over 1 million subscribers. That is freaking impressive, man. And kudos to you. I hope you can get back. I don't know if you'll ever get back to 1 million, but I sincerely hope that you can get back to half that. It would be cool. It would be really damn cool if you were able to get like 500,000. But anyway, I've rambled on for enough. It's good to have you back, buddy. It's nice having another North Carolina YouTuber like myself come back, especially like a guy who's been around for a minute. Watched a lot of your content over the years, and hopefully watch it for a few more years at least. Glad to have you back. Like, comment, and subscribe, everybody. No real goals for the end of this year, but at the end of next year, I would like to have 1,000 subscribers. I'm going to try and hit that. If you don't watch any more of my videos between now and the end of the year, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Everyone, have a good night.